Sherry Shriner. A couple things I want to talk about today. If you have a question, you can post it in the chat room while I'm paying attention. I don't always keep my eyes on the chat room. Can't talk and pay attention at the same time. So if you have a question, you can head to the chat room. Yeah, let's burn the lizards. I totally agree. Totally sick of lizards. And, to date, our Oregon war against the lizards has crashed 16,000 UFOs. Just over 16,000. I was asking the father just the other day. I know last year it was just over 12,000, and already, almost a year later, it's up over 16,000. We've almost 4,000 or 5,000 in 1 year. So our Oregon war is very effective, folks. This is the only ministry on the planet where we actually do something. Instead of hitting the pavement with our mouths, we hit it with our feet. And we get our Oregon out. We have our own certain brand and style of Oregon that emits a certain type of energy. In the Bible codes, you'll see it as a strand or a strain, referring to my Oregon war. And it destroys them. And meteor websites can't keep up. They call it meteor showers because of all the UFOs crashing constantly. People posting videos all over YouTube. UFOs crashing, meteors crashing. Very effective war, folks. And we've done it on pennies and nickels, basically. Pennies and nickels. Pennies and nickels. I don't know how I got this war started, how we've managed to keep it going, but we've done it. We've done it. We've never had one large donor, one large backer stand up. I think the largest contribution I've ever had was $20,000 many years ago, and we used that to buy a vehicle and head out to the mission on the East Coast, which was a huge success. A huge money soaker. Cost a lot of money, but very successful. We need people to stand up, fund this war, fund this ministry. This is the first week where I've done 3 daytime shows in a row. Very difficult. Wow, a lot of work. A lot of work. Because after the show, I've got to download it and then upload it into another program, fix the audio, then download it into another program, fix the whole thing, and then download that into another program, and then upload it to YouTube. So it's a lot of uploading and downloading. And when you have an extremely slow internet connection, because all we've got out here in this town is satellite connection, very frustrating, very slow. It can take, at least 6 hours. So anyway, I was working on Bible codes last night. Everybody always wants to know if I see Donald Trump in the Bible codes, and you know what? He's not like, I don't know, I'm not sure what's going on with Trump in the Bible codes. Because I know under his watch, you'll see the arrival, the event, the arrival. When these New Age ascended masters, gurus, descend on earth. I don't know why they call it the ascension. Because they're not rising up, they're coming down. It's a descension. And if they were rising up, it would be from what? Out of hell? Well, they have their underground cities, Mount Shasta and Shambhala. There are, I think, 7 major underground cities. Shambhala is the major one, the center one in the center of the earth. That one has its main entrance over by India. What is that? Mongolians, that area. There's a entrance to Shambhala through Mongolia. There's actually different access points throughout the world into inner Earth, but I don't know about Shambhala directly. And so Shambhala is supposedly the city that Hitler visited when he took off running after during World War II. They found a look-alike or whatever that had committed suicide and said that was Hitler. But the real one had taken off to Antarctica and had supposedly made contact with the inner Earth beings. And then you hear later how he died in Argentina. And as I've said, folks, no matter how meticulous the inner Earth city might be, it's still just a meticulous basement. It's going to be damp. It's going to be moldy smelling. And humans need the sun. They need vitamin D3 to survive. Imagine being stuck in the windowless underground base. I guess you could ask today's scientists who's got to work in these underground bases all day long with no access to just pure oxygen in the sun. That would drive you crazy. And yet that was their idea, to hide. When they started destroying everybody else, the elite were going to run underground. We spent trillions of dollars on underground bases that we just destroy one by one. So much of it has just already been destroyed. You didn't think I was going to leave those alone too, did you? We go after everything. We go after everything we find out about. And so, something I wanted to mention, because there's a new phase going on in Hollywood. Now, I know if I'm saying it's new, it's probably been going on for 20 or 30 years, and I'm just catching on to it because I'm not so quick. I don't watch a lot of Hollywood garbage. I can't stomach it. It's amusing to me, and it's becoming a huge sideshow entertainment because it keeps people alert to what's going on. It's how you guys, when you can see things with your own eyes, and it's the only way I can teach you. I'm a teacher. I've always told the Father, what you teach me, I'll teach others. And so I teach. Now, there's a new thing going on with all the trannies having twins. And the fact that about 80% of who you see on TV is a tranny, that's how pervasive and dominating it's getting on TV. And I'm noticing another thing. Because people always ask me, how can they be a tranny and be pregnant? Well, that can be faked, folks. I mean, they use breeders to have children for them. Look at George and Amal. Do you really think George and Andy had a child? No, they had a breeder. Just like Beyonce and Jay-Z. You have a breeder. They dump it in your lap. I highly doubt Angelina Jolie. Even though I don't think she's a tranny, I do think she's probably just a psycho female. She just does not have the mother of a woman who's had 3 kids. Or the body. I mean, trust me, when you have kids, your body goes to heck. Doesn't have it. And how does Kate Winslet, how does she have a baby and then 2 days later come out of the hospital wearing a $10,000 designer dress with 6-inch heels? I mean, come on, folks. Come on. Yes, we were all born yesterday. Hopefully, if you're listening to my show, I know my people aren't, because my people are the smartest on the planet. You can't hold a candle to the people who listen to my show. Their level of intelligence is so far high and above anybody else's that's listened to my show since I started, because of the truths I reveal on this show. And the thing about truth is a funny thing. It alienates you from the rest of society because nobody else can get you. It takes them years to catch up. So truth is a lonely place. It can be a very lonely place. So what I'm saying is this. Have you noticed the trend that Hollywood celebrities, and when I say celebrities, I also mean politicians, because they kind of go hand in hand, they're I always said when you're introduced to your double, run. Because when they introduce you to your double, it's your days or even months away from being totally replaced by it. Where's the real Taylor Swift? When I saw her fake coming out, I was like, whoa, where's Taylor? You notice the newer one? Because I was screaming about this years ago. Because it was the new one that bought this penthouse in New York. She's a little bit shorter than the normal Taylor. She's got the more heart-shaped face. She wears the really, really red, bright red lipstick. That's not the real Taylor. So where is the real Taylor? What do they do with the real ones? You know, they pull out these clones all the time of Brad Pitt, and they're always 30 years younger than he is. And nobody says anything? Nobody notices? I mean, I've always been a Brad Pitt is gorgeous kind of person. I just always thought he was so gorgeous. But you know what? As he's gotten older, he's at least 56 years old. And they keep pulling out these 30-year-old Brad Pitts. You know, like they do Obama. They always show you the 30-year-old, fun-loving, carefree Obama. Hardly ever does the real 50-year-old one come out. When do they let the real ones out? You think? They ever do? Because what I'm noticing is that they're, especially lately, I guess I caught on with the Miley replacement. Because they come out with trannies. And then they replace the human celebrity with a tranny. Because I really couldn't figure out the Tom Brady thing. You know, Tom Brady, you look at his transvestigation videos, and him and his wife, total transvestites. But then when you look at his playing football, I think that one's not a female. That one has the Adam's apple. That one looks like a male. So who was the Tom Brady on the beach with his wife that was a total tranny? And so I'm starting to catch on that they're using tranny doubles. I don't know. And then look what happens. Like Brett Favre, the guy retired when he was like 70 years old from the NFL. I mean, he was old. He's one of the oldest quarterbacks ever to retire. And now you see him in shaving commercials, and he's like 30 years old. The replacement Favre is out. So they just get rid of the real celebrity, and they start bringing out the much younger lookalikes and clones or trannies. I mean, look at Michael Jackson. He had like 6 replacements in 15 years or something. Okay, 20. How old was he when he died? Because he actually died in 1984. The real Michael died in 1984. He was sacrificed by this satanic group in L.A. More like punished because he wanted out, so they sacrificed him. And then fake number 1 stepped in and started playing Michael for a while. And that's when they started replacing the Michaels. The one that actually died was like replacement number 3 or 4. The one at the very end was not the Michael of Thriller days. They're all just replacements. That's where they got their practice. And that's where they learned, hey, we can keep the brand going. Keep the brand going. Because when you're a celebrity and your name becomes known, you're a brand. You're a brand name. Now it becomes a slot for a character. Now you're a character on a script. And if the real person dies playing the character, then they can just replace it with doubles and lookalikes and clones. That's what they've been doing to the Kardashians for ages. You know, I remember back, I think it was 2010, when the Kardashians came out with their first reality show series. And I warned them, you know, I don't know if they listen to this show, but I know Hollywood hates me. So somebody's listening to my show, because they know who I am, and they all hate me. They hate the Oregon. Just to piss them off, we go get their Beverly Hills and their club areas, and Oregon burns lizards. Burns the heck out of them. They hate it. And it smells to them. There's a putrid odor to them. But what they did was they gave them the first series. And then they said if you want to continue on with the reality series, you have to sign the dotted line. You have to sell your soul to the devil. And the girls refused. The mother did, of course. She's a handler. She's a top witch. The girls refused, so they killed them and replaced them. And ever since then, there's been, multiple replacements of the original Kim, Courtney, and Chloe. That's why they always look so different. And Kim, you just can't get any more plastic anymore. They just can't hide it. They use the synthetics with her. Also, Latino boys, they get facial surgery and stuff transgendered up to play her role. I've noticed that with her. I don't pay much attention to the others. I don't pay much attention to her, but she's the one whose photos in the news all the time that they just keep faking. I think you notice this with the George Bush clones, Jr. especially. The Bill Clinton clones always look younger. The many, many faces of Hillary Clinton. It goes on and on, folks. They think we're stupid. And that's why they just keep getting more emboldened and brazen, because they think we're stupid. We won't notice. So now we've got the real thing of twinning, which is what I think is the real term for this Hollywood twinning thing. It's Hollywood's just not having twins, because that's the dual reality, dual world of Hollywood. But also the reality that a lot of these human celebrities just being replaced by their twin look-alike, which is a tranny. And they're doing it to sports figures, too. They retire, they kill them, and the tranny takes over. It's a whole tranny agenda thing going on. Was looking at the news, Ashton Kutcher is becoming the poster boy. Oh, what a credible spokesman for anti-sex trafficking. What a joke. Do they think anybody wants to hear anything any of these celebrities have to say when it comes to politics? It's like, shut up, sit down, go away. Nobody cares what you say. This fellow Kabbalist, Mason freak, pedophile himself, actually had a speech in front of the Council of Foreign Relations Pedophiles about anti-sex trafficking. You know, this is like putting the wolves around the wolf pen again, where you always just put your own people in charge to lead other people away from the real truth. Because that's all he's doing. He's pointing the finger. Oh, look, there was an American man in a foreign country raping a child. Really? I don't care about, as much in what they're doing in foreign countries as much as why can't we take care of it ours first? And why are you deflecting the attention to boogeymen when we've got the men in suits that in front of you're speaking to, who many of them are up to their eyebrows in pizza sauce, and you're pointing the fingers somewhere else? No, we don't want the bottom feeders. We want the suits. We want the suits. We want the criminals in D.C. I mean, yeah, you can shut it down in Hollywood all you want to. Good luck. That's all run by the Jews. The Jewish gay mafia. We want the suits. We don't want the bottom to the top. We want top down. I'm so sick of James Comey. If I hear that name again, I just want to scream, because what has he done since November, since October, when he had all this evidence to arrest Hillary for treason and the Clinton Foundation and John Podesta emails and Pizzagate? All this evidence, the arrests are coming out. The arrests are coming out. And now it's the end of February. And all they've given us is some bottom feeders in California. No arrest of Hillary, Bill, the DNC. Nobody's been arrested. Comey's going to be known as, I've got the evidence, but I've done nothing. Companies just kick him to the curb. He's being played. Because they stall. They're all stalling because they think that they're going to lead Trump into his oblivion and his demise and his assassinations. They've got several planned for March and April. And they figure if they get rid of him, then all this investigation stuff will just go bye-bye. Well, they're not going to get rid of him. They're not going to get rid of him. There's going to be too many people fighting against it to protect him. Just because they want to see the scumbags go down. Just for spite. It doesn't mean that you support Trump and you support his policies. I certainly don't. But I also see the writing on the wall. And Trump is a lot better than Hillary would have ever been. So as much as they want to plot and plan and salivate the next 2 months, next month especially, we're trying to assassinate him, it's not going to happen. So, call me, find a new job. Let's get a woman in there who gets things done. Why? Because men just talk. Talk. Let's get a woman in there that can get something done. Men all have something to hide. Comey probably has skeletons in his closet so high. He's afraid to do anything about it. Let's get women in there who aren't blackmailed for raping kids. Non-blackmailable people. So they got the rooster in the hen house with Coocher. Don't pay any attention to that garbage. Comey, he's vastly becoming irrelevant. He's just a stall man. I want to see some real arrests going on. This is getting pathetic. Then you have the twinning agenda going on in California. All the humans being replaced by tranny lookalikes. I talked to this kid, 19 years old, out in California a couple months ago. He'd already gotten the chip implant in his hand, because that's already the thing going on. They're chipping all their hybrid kids so that they can start promoting it to everybody else. And they're giving them roles in movies and videos and stuff as rewards, and to be promoters of the new RFID chip in your right hand. And he told me he was being groomed to replace Eminem. And they had been giving him pills and shots and stuff. And he did. He looked like a young Eminem. Because, you know, they killed the real one years ago, Marshall Mathers. And they've been using fakes and lookalikes of him since. And so this is what they do. They find kids. I don't know how they inject somebody else's DNA, start changing your looks to become a lookalike to a celebrity, but they do it. They do it. I mean, look at Lauren that plays Miley Cyrus. She was replaced by a tranny, the original Miley. They've all been replaced, folks. Replaced by trannies. Gee, that's your legacy when you leave Earth. You should get replaced by a tranny. It takes over your name and continues your brand on Earth, your name on Earth. Wow. We're going more, folks. I need your support. Keep this going. I need to get back to New Mexico. We shut Dulce Base down for 4 years. And they figured out a way around our Oregon, because I think what happens is that sources, because Oregon will dissolve after a year or two or so in the water. We need to get back there. Anyway, folks, I need your support. You can go to SherrySchreider.com, click on the donate page. I have a GoFundMe account, and I also have a Square Cash account. Well, those kids are teaching me new stuff. Anyway, I'll be back on Tuesday with my week in the news, I guess you'd call it. Blacklisted news about prophecy. Till next week, everybody. Yeah, bless.